everyone, this is the Coffee with the Geek program. I don't have some coffee today. It's just too hot here in the East. I do have a really cool coffee mug that I got at a conference called Kite Learning. I got it at the Canadian Connect conference. It was a really good conference, I must say. So there's my shout out for them. They're a personalized learning platform. Just so you know, I don't get any proceeds or anything from them. So that was just a shout out to them. So with me today is a really great guest, and like many of the guests that I interview, I met you through Twitter, and I saw some of your really cool tweets, which led me to your website, and which led me to your work. So let me introduce SARAH Thomas, and SARAH is a regional technology coordinator at Prince George's County Public Schools in Maryland. She's also a Google certified innovator, and the founder of the hashtag EduMatch movement, which I'd like to talk about, and a project that empowers educators to make global connections across common areas of interest. That sounds like a really powerful idea and concept. And you are now a doctoral candidate in education at George Mason University. So you're busy. And SARAH, let me start off with first of all, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Your busy day.
Thank you.
And you know, again, I came across you through Twitter, which led me to your website. And you've got a blog and a website, so I'll let you kind of talk through both of those. But can you tell me about your blog, and maybe I've asked this question before, like when did you start blogging or creating a website presence, and how has that kind of helped your teaching? Give us some tips.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you again for having me here. It's such a pleasure to speak with you, and it was a pleasure to connect with you face-to-face at ISTE as well. But in terms of blogging, then I've been blogging since, I want to say, educationally blogging since about 2013. I went to EdCamp, New Jersey, which kind of inspired me to continue to blog and to actually kind of focus it and start branding myself. And branding, that's often a controversial word in our field, but after speaking with a lot of people, just found that it's pretty much showing exactly what you stand for and promoting, helping to amplify voices that you think need to be heard. So I've really been kind of working towards that, and I just blog because that is just the way for our profession to get better. When we share our stories and when we share our successes, our challenges, things of that nature, then that in turn helps other educators. So I definitely recommend blogging to anyone who has not already begun doing so.
One of the things that I saw, and again, I got a little confused because you do have a really good website that kind of highlights your work, and then you also have your blog that kind of highlights your day-to-day learning and musings. But I think maybe it was on your website, I saw this really great thing that says that your top 5 trends that you're watching. Actually, it was top 50 maybe, but the top 5 were 360-degree videos, augmented reality, back-channeling, blogging, and coding. Those are the top 5. So are those trends that are still on your radar, and where are you as far as following those trends?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just try to put a couple things on my hot list, things that really have my attention at the moment. So 360 video, I'm all about that. I started getting into that last year when I got a Ricoh Theta, and it's a 360-degree camera that's relatively inexpensive, fits in your pocket. So lately I've just kind of blown the dust off of it and started doing a lot more with it, especially in using Google Cardboard and other virtual reality type devices such as that. And I mean, that whole field just kind of fascinates me. And so that's really been a main interest of mine. I'll go ahead and share my screen to show our viewers exactly what you're referring to. Let me see here. So this is the hot list over here. So the hot list for 2015, 2016. Yeah, and I mean, just all of these are just things that have piqued my curiosity and piqued my students' curiosity. And you know, I recently stepped out of the classroom, but still I'm very connected with my former students, and this has just really piqued our curiosity this school year.
Is your school actively using any of these technologies yet, or are they still kind of future dreams?
Definitely. Right now, I'm currently working at the district level, so we've really started using a lot of these more so to try to spread the best practices among teachers in our district. So with the 360, then we're actually having our 20th year of an educational conference that we've been doing in my district, and we're going to be doing a 360 as part of that. And in terms of back channeling, we just did a we did a Read Across America day with a variety of different Google Hangouts that teachers would participate in, and people in our office. And back channeling was a huge part of that in terms of having the students participate as well. So all of these things, you know, we're definitely all lifelong learners here in our department, and we all have our curiosity, and we try to help spread the word and try to make good ideas go viral here.
You sound really passionate about this, which I love, and of course I'm passionate about it as well. Do you find, and I think, you know, passion is one of the most contagious of all human leadership principles. Do you find that passion across your district? Are you finding some resistance? What's your climate like in your schools?
It's really great. We have a lot of pockets of passion in our district. There are some educators who are super connected, super interested in keeping their finger on the pulse of what's going on educationally and helping to share the word to their colleagues and peers. So I mean, it's just really a great time to be an educator in my district, with seeing all of this greatness coming from the educators here, and it's just really exciting right now.
So tell me about ISTE. It was great meeting you at ISTE, and we had kind of chatted a little bit there, but tell me about your ISTE experience, um, you know, and maybe combine that with your kind of trends you were following. Did you get some maybe reassurance that the trends you're following are also the trends that are being followed by people at ISTE?
Oh, totally. It was such a great experience this year. I really had a great time. Unfortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of time to go to sessions because I was presenting quite a bit and tied up with a couple of other engagements. But I did get a chance to sit in on a few sessions as well as some of the posters, and it was just all around. In terms of the 360 video, we just had our very first EduMatch meetup at ISTE. So we had an EduMatch meetup at FETC, but this was our first one at ISTE. And we had a combination of us and ed speakers who kind of came together, and we had a sponsor who gave each of the participants branded Google Cardboard. And in that, then we took a 360 video of all of us kind of lining the walls, saying that we're turning our passion into reality. That was just kind of a tie-in to a conference that we're going to be doing online called the Edu Passions Conference in September. So it all kind of started to blend together, and just a lot of the discussion, a lot of the posters, and a lot of the sessions were about things that were very interesting. So things that definitely have piqued my interest.
You mentioned that you were a presenter. Can you talk about your presentations and how'd they go?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see, the very first thing I did was a poster. It was Humans of Education. I actually kind of helped out on that. The brains behind it were Amanda Rogers in Texas and Melissa Eddington in Ohio. And they're both classroom teachers, and they had their students interview teachers from all over the country. Also, Tom Kilgore in Texas was also a part of that. And I mean, the students did amazing things. They interviewed maybe about, I want to say probably 10 teachers, and I was one of them. And I just love seeing Amanda's third grade students just interview me, ask me questions, and then the report that they wrote up was just amazing. So I mean, we really need to just encourage our kids to keep on creating, keep on doing things in this way. So that was the first session. The second session was a panel, which I did with Nancy White from Colorado, also Jessica Raleigh from Colorado, and Chris Rogers from Georgia. The three of us had previously collaborated on doing a presentation about LMS, and we talked about that at an EdCo last year. So we kind of brought it back this year. We had some guest panelists on board who did a fantastic job, just kind of debating the purpose of the LMS as well as best practices. And last but not least, we had an ISTE Digital Equity Meetup for our PLN. So I'm happy to be one of the board members for the ISTE Digital Equity Board and PLN board. And we had our meetup, and it was very EdCamp style, and so many great conversations were had in that room about ways to best meet the needs of all of our students.
You know, it really sounds like your ISTE experience was a lot about connecting, which is, you know, ISTE is a great way to finally, again, we connect with so many educators, not face-to-face, but through social media and other means, so it's a really nice way to connect face-to-face, and it's also a great way, and I think some of the sessions I saw were really, some of the best ones were just sharing out you know, things, and a lot of them were kind of unconference style, on the fly kinds of things. Are those the kinds of experiences you had with ISTE, and are those the kinds of things you're going to bring back to your district? And
oh yeah, definitely. Like the EdCamp movement is just amazing. Like it empowers educators, and it's like I call it the great equalizer, because you can have, you don't know who's sitting next to you. It could be the superintendent sitting next to, you know, even students at some point. Some ed camps have students, and I just love those ed camps. I love learning from students. I love learning from other educators, from administrators, from everyone. It's just a great experience. Did you attend Hack Ed by any chance?
I didn't. I attended a session called Teach Meet.
Oh, cool.
Maybe it was Meet Teach. I don't know if you've heard it. I kind of just came across it when I was looking at the sessions for the day. I had a gap of time, and I went in there. And it, the way they did it was kind of an unconference where they had 2-minute, I think 7-minute, and then 20-minute presentations. Anyone could offer a presentation up. So most people did 2 minutes. There are a few 7, a few 20 minutes, but they were nice because they were pretty quick shots, and they just crowdsourced all the resources that were shared. So it was really awesome. It was great.
Totally. I've always wanted to get into that, into the Teach Meets.
Yep. Tell me about this EduMatch movement.
Absolutely. EduMatch is a project that was started in September 2014. And it's funny because it almost didn't happen. It was just a conversation I was having with one of my friends on Voxer, and she started sounding like my cousin who used to teach math. And I said, the two of you should meet, y'all should talk. And I said, is there anything out there that will do that for us as educators? And so I did a quick search. I found some stuff that was paid, but I didn't really see anything that was free, organic, grassroots. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set up this account and see what happens. And the goal was to connect educators using hashtags and seeing how that would go. So there was someone in Australia who reached out and said, hey, I'll try this. I'll be the first to try it. And we said, okay, great. So so I told him, check back with me at the end of the day, or I'll check in with you, see how it goes. And he said, this was great. This was fantastic. I think you should continue. So I set up a Google form, and the same friend I was chatting with on Voxer, Franz, suggested setting up a website. And by the end of the weekend, and there were probably about 15, 20 people signed up. And so it started there. Afterwards, it moved to a Voxer chat. I added that piece next because one of the participants, Justin Schleider, suggested that. So the Voxer group is now like the most dynamic part of EduMatch. You literally have conversations going on 24 hours because there are people all around the world. And it's really amazing because from that very first moment that almost did not turn into reality, now we have almost 17,000 educators in EduMatch, and we just build and grow. Every week we have a weekly Google Hangout on air where any educator can submit a topic, any educator can be on panel and just discuss it. And I mean, we're on Facebook, Twitter, have a Twitter chat, you know, Voxer, Slack, so just everywhere. And it's turned into really a family, not just a network, but a family.
I've used Voxer a little bit. I'm part of a Voxer group for a virtual environments network, and you know, I've used it for low-level communication. Can you talk, for those who may not even be familiar with Voxer? Again, I'm a relatively newbie to it, but can you talk about Voxer, maybe give people a little idea of what it's all about and how it can be used as a powerful education tool?
Oh, totally. Yeah, Voxer is a free app available on iOS, Android, and the web. And pretty much with Voxer, it's kind of reminiscent of the Nextel chirp chirps from maybe the early 2000s. And with the exception that it will save the message and you can come back and listen to it. You can have groups of up to 500 people. So a couple of friends and I, actually a few friends and I, Heather Gawk, Karen Corbell, Annabelle Pacheco, the four of us got together and created a list where people could submit their Voxer groups. Other educators could submit their Voxer groups. So now we have like a running list at bit.ly/eduvox list. So on there's about maybe 60 or 70 groups. And I mean, it's just really a dynamic platform. We just wrapped up Ed Camp Voxer, the second round of that. So Nicole Howard, Regina Schaefer, Shayna White, Shayna Glass, Rochelle Wooten, Carla Jefferson, and I am missing someone. I think we have 8 now, but we just wrapped that up where it was an ed camp held exclusively on Voxer. And I mean, the thing about Voxer is that when you talk to people all day long and for an extended period of time, then you really get that connection that you cannot get on any other social media. And I wholeheartedly believe that because I think that the voice element definitely brings like the human side of it into place. And the thing about EduMatch is that we tackle some serious issues that are very hard to do in any other on any other platform. And the reason being that we have those relationships in place. And just like our students, how we build relationships among them so that we can strengthen the peer learning, the same is goes for us as educators. So I mean, it's just really been a dynamic platform.
How do you get started with EduMatch? Is there a website? Is there a platform you go to?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and pull it up on my screen, edumatch.org. But I'll take you on a very quick trip through EduMatch. Hopefully my filters are not blocking it. Good. Okay. So this is awesome. So this is the EduMatch website. So it's edumatch.org. It'll reroute you to edumatch.education, but edumatch.org will take you there. And then down here you can see a video of why it's important to connect. So I put out a call for videos. In a week, I got 33 people from 5 continents who shared their stories, why it's important to connect. And then down here, this kind of explains EduMatch a little bit. But right here, there is a Google form where people can fill out the EduMatch Person of the Day. And this is where it all started. This was the original form that we just kind of built around. So this is a Twitter aspect, and people can fill out as much or as little as they want. All we need is the stuff that is starred, and then after that, whatever else they want to add. And then from there, then we get you know, your Twitter handle. So there's a list of people who are waiting to be featured people of the day, but we're getting through them slowly but surely. And in addition, if people have a blog they want to submit, then part of it is that I'll hook you up to the Hootsuite auto retweet service, and it'll blast it out to the EduMatch audience, and people can sign up for the Voxer group there. Here we have some past EduMatchers, so if people are looking for people to connect with that are interested in the same things that they are, then this is kind of a more customized version. These are people who have willingly self-identified as these different areas, you know, having interest in these different areas. So you can just kind of scan this. This is 300 or so people that we've already featured on Twitter, and there are many, many more. I think that we're about maybe 60 behind in terms of featuring people. And then down here, there's some fun stats. This is the podcast calendar. So every week there is an EduMatch tweet and talk. So a Twitter chat, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as a Google Hangout. So this is a link to the Google Hangout, so people can just kind of peruse that, and it goes pretty much, okay, September, there's something going on. I'll go back and check. But yeah, we have shows going through October now, and we're just continuing to add. And down here, the social media part is everywhere that we currently are on EduMatch, and it's kind of an interactive thing link. So you can just kind of click and see all of the different EduMatch parts. So that's about it.
Wow, that really blew me away. That's really awesome. I'm going to sign up for that.
Thank you. We would love to have you.
I know. Well, I'd love to be on there. Let's just, to wrap up, maybe ISTE, or maybe just in general, what is inspiring you these days I think I may know a little bit of the answer to that, but what's inspiring you today as far as ed tech and maybe what you saw at ISTE? Was there something that really jazzed you up?
There are always things that jazz me up about edtech. I guess I think that right now my takeaway is more so about ways to connect. I guess I would say that that is my true passion. Um, and whenever I hear about some new PLN or some great way to connect people, then I'm in there. But really, I would say that other than that, I'm also very into digital equity right now. Is definitely something that I firmly believe in. So that's never going away. And let me see. Other than that, I would say probably the 360 is my latest addiction. Oh, and Pokemon Go. I know, bad, but
That's taking the world by storm. I mean,
it
I've heard
is.
nothing but probably the last 3 days. That's been one of the top news stories, is
Yeah, I gotta
Pokemon
catch
Go.
them all.
So that's awesome though that something like that is just catching on. And I think for augmented reality, I mean, there it is. We just have
Absolutely.
to harness it for education, right?
Oh goodness. Yeah, and we have to. I heard that they're looking into they're looking into ways to protect their privacy, or something. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about the steps that they're going to take regarding that, because I heard that that was like a huge thing in the news a couple of days ago.
Okay, so let me ask you one more question, and then we'll jump into the speed geek question. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see education in 5 years? What are some of the trends if we were to take out our crystal ball? Where do you think you're going to be in 5 years in ed tech, and what trends do you think are going to be hot in 5 years? I know that's a tough question to answer, but give it a go.
All right, I'll give it a go. In 5 years, well, I certainly hope that I will have graduated by then. Yes, it's my 10th year that's about to begin in this PhD program, so I'm hoping to just wrap it up this year. And yeah, and other than that, I'm just kind of keeping things open ended. I just started a fantastic position back in November, and I love it here. So just awesome stuff. Being in such a phenomenal district, working with such a phenomenal team. Um, in terms of education in 5 years, that is a very good question. Um, I do see more shifts to blended instruction, which I think is definitely a positive thing. Um, where yeah, I would definitely say blended instruction. I definitely want to see more of a shift towards students as creators as opposed to just consumers. I want to see more authentic, authentic opportunities, and I want to see opportunity gaps minimized um, for students. And in addition, goodness, just more student choice and voice. And I know that those sound like buzzwords, but they are definitely on point to where we need to go as a profession in terms of students having more say so in their own learning experiences.
Yeah, I think you're so right, and I think what you said too, as far as students as creators, we have the technology there for students to do just amazing things with creation, and I don't think we're there letting teachers or letting students get there and express themselves in different ways, because certainly the technologies are there for that to happen. So
Yes,
good point.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, now we are getting ready for the speed geek questions. Let me see if I can bring them up without getting the screen of 1,000 people here. Let me see if I can get it. All right, let me bring up the wheel. And so these are just quick, short answers. Whatever the wheel lands on, what we're gonna go with. So
All right.
I got it. So let me just move this aside and see if I can share my screen. Let me know if I've got the screen out there.
All right, I see it.
See it? Okay. So here goes. I'm gonna zap out. Can you see it spinning?
I can see it.
All right. So, oh, an old one, Gryffindor or Slytherin. If you're not familiar with either one, you can pass.
I will pass.
Okay, those are Harry Potter references. I thought I chose that one. All right, favorite social network.
For that, I would be torn between Boxer and Google Hangouts on air.
Oh, boy, you threw a twist at me. I thought for sure you'd say Twitter, but
I'm unpredictable.
Yeah. Oh, Star Wars or Star Trek? Any preference?
I'd have to go with Star Trek. I'm my mom's daughter, so I have to give her a shout out.
She's a Star Trek fan, huh?
She's a Trekkie, yep.
All right. Okay, we'll go with two more. Usually I do three, but first storage device.
Ooh, what was my first storage device? It had to be some kind of. Yeah, absolutely. You know, my brother actually bought an Atari. He's 13 years older than me, so he bought an Atari, and when I was 2, he bought some Learn to Read stuff. So it was every time I pressed C, a clown came up, and it would scare the mess out of me. So yeah.
All right, that's a good one. That's a good story too.
Yes.
Nintendo's changed. Yeah.
Oh, it sure has.
All right, and your first computer.
All right, I would go back to my brother's computer where he bought the Atari, but I would say the first one that I bought had to be probably an HP back sophomore year of college or something like that.
Wow. Yeah, computers go so fast now. It's hard to think back to those first.
Yeah.
Computers. Except for my case, I'm so old. We had Commodore 64s. And that was the old days where you hooked them up to your TV set.
See, we might have had that too. Yeah, like I was lucky to always have one in the house growing up. The first one I ever bought was that one sophomore year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, Sarah, thank you so much for taking your time, and I'll really look forward to being going to check out EduMatch and sign up, and I hope other teachers do that because it looks like a really great way for people to meet other teachers. And are you working the school year or through the summer, or do you get the summer off?
Yeah, I just moved to 12 months, so the district life. Hashtag district life.
That's fun. It keeps you sharp, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. It makes time go by super fast.
All right, and just before I let you go, so can you give out your blog and your website to follow you on?
Absolutely. My website is sarahjanethomas.com, and my blog is SARAH DA TEECHUR.com, like my Twitter handle.
And I have to ask you, how did you come up with that Twitter handle?
It's funny because it was actually on the spur of the moment. I was sitting at a conference and there was a hash came up and I was just like, I want to do this, but I couldn't do it from like my lockdown account. So I was just like, let me just create like a brand new account. And since I was working with my research interest is ESOL students, so working with ESOL participants in my dissertation. So I was just like, let me spell it phonetically, and I didn't think it would stick, but it totally stuck.
That's fun. All right, well, thank you so much again, Sarah, and I was really happy to meet you, and I look forward to following you and all your work.
All right, thanks so much. Same here.
All right.
All right, thanks.